Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and it's time for some more Battle Brothers with the Legends mod. Now, fortunately the Legends mod has stabilised recently, by which I mean it hasn't been updated for a few days, possibly even a week or two now. Unfortunately, this save was made with a version of the mod 3 or 4 versions ago, so there may be a bit of bugginess. If there is, if I run into a game-breaking bug, hey, I'll just start a new campaign, you know. But for now, I'm enjoying this one. Let's see, there is work at Havelberg. However, it's 2 skull contracts at... yeah... he's got a sliced open punctured cheek. Was that an arrow wound or a spear or something? I don't know. Looking at our company, we are not ready for 2 skull contracts yet. Not even remotely. But we do have Yera. I know that rune. Let's see. So weapon rune. Well, let's wait till we have a really good weapon to put it on, because currently that sword is probably the best we're going to get for a while. So let's hold off on that and just hold it. So I think we could do with some... we got some grain, but we could do with some more food supplies. So we're not going to take either of these contracts. We are going to head on down the road. We can't hire anyone because we don't have room in the company just yet, which means we are looking for work to help keep the company fed. That is a horrific price for a loaf of bread. Let's just move on. Wait a minute. We got a fair bit of money. Man, if we had another 700, that'd be really nice. Oh, look at that. It's a Spang helm with mail. Yeah. Oh, 4,007. Oh, we never get that kind of money. Okay, well, what we should do with a small company like this, because it's going to be a while before we can hire anyone else. Yeah, like one fight, okay. But even so, we should be looking into upgrading the equipment of our company members to keep them alive. Okay. Let's go looking for work. So yeah, I have been wanting to start a new Eratus run. However, Eratus interest seems to have dipped a little. My last Eratus video didn't get as many views as usual, and I noticed the Eratus community seems to have died a death over the last few days. It's just all of a sudden just boom. Now, there has been an announcement of a new patch coming to Eratus with a little bit of extra content. There'll be like an extra enemy to face. Sort of undead elves. Like a bunch of druids who took magic potions and like embalmed themselves and basically passed on into the afterlife. And now fight against Eratus and his undead hordes. There's also supposed to be a new minion coming soon. But, hey, so maybe people are all just waiting for that, you know? Alright, let's see. Sitting and jesting for men while they check their kit, hone their blades and mend their armour, your mind wanders off to thinking of new ideas for improving the company, its reputation across the lands. What is your conclusion, and what do you tell the men? Battle standard would be nice, but it's a hefty investment. I don't think we got a good standard bearer to take it. Visit everywhere. While I like that one, because it's relatively easy to do, it will actually take so long that our company may suffer. Get the company strength up to 12 men. That's quite a way off. We need to have at least 2 more levels, I think, before we can do that. Wilderness. Okay, no, we'll actually go with that. I know the soles of your feet are itchy for the open road, and we need to spread word about the company. Let us pay visit to every settlement, far and wide. Let us spread word of our deeds, and oh wow, we need medical supplies. And we're heading back to assisted. It's like they really just couldn't spell assisted. Assisted. Alright. Oh, there's a wild man here for hire. Man. They are so hardcore when you can get them. Unfortunately, we don't have room in the company, and we could, like, turf someone out, but that just don't feel right, you know? Equipment-wise, there is a weaponsmith here, whose prices are fairly high, and that's only to be expected, really. Could we at least start getting some decent helmets? Nope. You get a Akaton. I mean, it's tempting. I think I'll just hold off for now, though. Oh, the prices of food here. Should have bought the bread in the previous location. Okay, there's a one skull contract. We can at least take that. Arnulf the steward sighs as he drops the scroll from his fingers as though its news weighted it so heavily. No, it is not. Its news weighed heavily on his soul. Its news weighted it so heavily. That actually makes sense once you get to the end of the sentence. At like 20 past 3 in the morning. Yep. Late night recording again, guys. Sorry, I had reasons for not being able to record earlier. We're not getting enough crowns from Assisted, and I believe it's because brigands may have taken over the wooden watchtower. That's not entirely confirmed. I really should follow the news of my people better, but you know how it is. You shrug. Anyway, I want you to go there, find a problem, and then report back to me for further instructions. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, sounds easy enough. He nods. Yes, good. I was thinking about payment for your task earlier. You'll get 40 crowns in advance and another 170 when the job's done. Well, he's Scottish, you don't haggle with Scotsman. It never ends well. We have the job. Okay, getting paid a tiny smidgen in advance is nice. But where the... There it is, okay. It might almost be... Whoa. We have money. You have a marketplace with medical supplies that are horrifically overpriced. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I know what I was thinking, don't worry. Oh, that's a long list of places we've got to go to. I know that wolf howl. I used to listen to it rather a lot in the Disciples series. Disciples, Disciples 2, Disciples 3, the second version of Disciples 3. Yeah. It got used a lot on their world maps. You order your men to fan out through the wooden watchtower. Right, no. It'd be like fan out through the village, fan out through the, you know, like a place where there's more than one building. The wooden watchtower, generally one building. You order your men to fan out around the wooden watchtower. You creep through the area with your sword in hand. As you turn a corner, you find a man squatting over a shithole. His knees wobble at the sight of you. When he reaches for his weapon, you run him through, quickly kicking his body off your blade and warning your men of brigands who quickly begin streaming out of nearby buildings. Let's fuck them up. Oh, rabble. Easy mode then. Okay. You know what? They've only got one ranged weapon. Let them come to us. Yeah, let them come. Let them all come. We shall be ready for them. God, my throat's quite dry at the moment. Okay. You, lady. Yeah, that's what you get. You didn't even have armour on. Barely even clothes. These are a sorry bunch of individuals. Yeah, come closer and get shot. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Spear out and wait. Hello. You thought you could bring a ranged weapon to me. Wasn't going to happen. Yes, I am holding off mostly at the moment. Is it... Right. No, I'll do it this way instead. That... he went into the hex. Okay, no worries. And that was highly predictable. We do, however, have ways of taking care of the situation. Alright, lovely. Get shot at. Get shot again. Theoretically worth a try. Right. Better than nothing, and he will go straight. Oh, interesting. Well then, in that case, we want to stop you hurting one of our seriously valuable archers. We're going to try and stun him. Miraculously, that actually works. Right. You don't even have a proper weapon. You're being introduced to some proper weapons at high velocity. I hope you become intimately acquainted. Knew that was going to happen. Right then, intimately acquainted with them indeed. In the not too distant future. You better watch it. We've even got a sword. I mean, look, here's the guy with the sword. He's coming to show you the sword. Did you like the sword? Would you like to see it even closer? Would you like to see it again? We can arrange that. Alright. Now back up and then come round to there. Hello, magic. So, one of the nice things actually in the more recent versions of the mod is that there's a low magic option where literally there will be considerably less magic in the world for the player. As rough a fight as there can be, you gather men and ready a return to Arnold for Stuart. It's kind of grammatically correct, but it's rather unusual. So yeah, if you go like low magic, Vavala basically doesn't show up at all, unless you're playing like the Women Company, which she's still the leader. The Seer does not get missile. She doesn't get chain lightning or like I mean, fire pot, that's an actual thing she throws, so that's okay. But yeah, she doesn't get teleport, probably levitate, you know. Yeah, she doesn't get any of those. If you're playing with the Necromancer, he doesn't get any of his like magic spell skills. All he gets is the ability to raise the dead, because he's a Necromancer. So essentially, it's a way of playing the game with a lot less magic in it. Now, she's going to need ranged attack. Could do with a bit more morale actually, but wait, hold on, let's think. Right, we do want that. Little bit of this now, just because actually, you know, +3 defense is pretty good. I mean, +3 attack is nice, but that's with 1 star, so she can get +3 again sometime. There we go. Just getting her that defense there up to 10. That's nice. It'd be nice to maybe get her dodge as well at some point, because she can't get. Is it this one? Premonition. Yeah. Which is interesting. You'd think the seer would get premonitions of some kind. Horrify. Alright. Let's move on, but now our company can grow in size, which is good. Just because it can. Just because it can doesn't mean that it should. 6 barbarian thralls. So enemies have begun to chase much more aggressively now. Sometimes even passing past towns and heading towards other things. Arnulf the Steward sits back as you enter. I take it by your return that the wooden watchtower has been cleared, yes? You confirm what the man wants to hear. He seems happy, though your job is not yet finished. Arnulf the Steward wants you to take a gang of workers back to the area to help rebuild and resettle it. Once they're safe and sound, return to him for payment. Yeah, this shouldn't take long. However, there are a bunch of bloodthirsty barbarian savages outside who may or may not be chasing us, and wow, that's expensive. I mean, he's expensive for his camping skills, let's be fair. But he's way out of our price league. You, on the other hand, let's see. Maces, axes and throwing weapons, light armour. Prefers fighting orcs and goblins, is skilled in unarmed combat, is sturdy, is staunchly perseverant, has a hulking form and lifts weight for hours. Could be quite handy. But we'd want a bit more equipment for him. Oh, Rollo Eagle Eyes. Aptitude for swords, daggers, axes and crossbows. Medium armour. Prefers fighting bandits with 2 S's for some reason. Is quite robust, coordinates activities effectively. Does that mean what I think it means? Because if it does, that would be great. Rarely loses breath and is a hefty sort. You know what? Yes, we will hire you. Does this mean you... No. No, it doesn't. That's very unfortunate. See, I was under the impression that meant he could have the Rally the Troops perk. But instead, he has... skillful stacking, and I'm not sure what else. Freedom, balance. Okay, yeah. So things he can give us a little more carry space. Better give him a shield to help keep him alive, and a spear because his melee attack skill is not that great. However, team player, nice. Which means that really low resolve of his may be less of an issue when dealing with wicked witches. Now these are not wicked witches, these are shrieking savages intent on tearing us limb from limb. Yeah, we don't want to go to you. You come to us. Oh man, all out of range? Okay. Now I could wait and let them get closer, but I'm not doing that this time. They like to use adrenaline. And look, you lot just stay behind us. Don't get in the way. We're professionals here. We're going to die for you. He has no shield, therefore he's a somewhat easier target than the men with shields. I say somewhat. Not holding out a massive amount of hope here, but you never know. And here comes the pain. Look, if they want to throw things at us, I'm fine with that, because the throwing weapons generally deal less damage. I'm not saying they're less accurate, I'm saying they don't hit as hard. Then again, we don't hit at all, so... Early days, I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's a problem now. Alright. This is dangerous, but here we go. Alright. Is there anyone else we can... No, we'll just shoot at him for now. And it actually worked. Hooray! Can we? Nope, we can't. I was hoping to waver his morale. Ugh. Okay, well, those two are going to hurt soon. We may be losing an ally here. Or indeed one of our own. Okay, look, we're just going to use magic. Magic is impressive. As ever. Shield up, we have allies to protect. We're going to go to here. Take a... not a chance. No. Just shoot him instead, yeah. Hey, it works. Don't knock it. Right. We won't be able to keep that up because he is running rapidly out of stamina. However, there we go. So far, so kind of good. Well, not gonna complain. That's living dangerously because of thrown weapons. Let us continue the dangerous living by moving to... you know what? Yeah. We'll just take off a little bit of fatigue there. And a little bit of his health. Maybe quite a big bit, in fact. Just locking him down now stops him from throwing stuff, so that's good enough for me. Doesn't mean he's likely to switch to something more dangerous though, so we want to be careful with that. Okay. And now we've pretty much got this one in the bag. I think if we just... look, I'm putting the debuff on him instead of him because he's badly hurt and doesn't even have a shield. He's likely to stick around quite a bit longer. So if I debuff him, then he gets like one attack, then I kill him. Or if he gets no attacks, then I kill him. Whereas he sticks around for 2 or 3 rounds. I think debuffing the healthy one was the good choice here. I say that because it's not a defensive debuff, it's an offensive debuff. So it reduces his damage dealing capacity. Now it could be argued that killing him removes his damage dealing capacity. And indeed it certainly does. However, you know, taking 2 people out of, you know, reducing 2 enemies' offense rather than 1 is a big win in my book. Oh, lots of bits there. Let's put these to repair because we can get better prices for them back in town. We also have a few levels, but let's not worry about that just yet. We don't have any tools for mending anyway, and back in town they are horrifically expensive. Most of the builders head into the wooden watchtower and begin preparations for its rebuilding. The foreman thanks you for getting them there safely as he knows the dangers of the world. He also thanks you for not betraying them all into an early grave. You take this gratitude with a smirk before starting the return journey to Arnulf the steward. And it's time to get paid. We do need tools, but the prices that after the fee we paid to hire our new fellow, the tools here are rather pricey. Arnulf the steward sits back, seemingly smug with himself. I know how to pick 'em. Sell swords, that is. Most of my compatriots... oh god, he's turning Irish, or actually a little bit something else as well, is it? Sort of... Most of my compatriots hire... he's gone bloody Welsh. Right, well, most of my compatriots hire folks like you, but it goes tits up because they don't know how to spot a good man from the wag of a dead dog's tail. But you, I knew you were good on your word the second I saw you. Your pay, mercenary. Your pay, mercenary. He slams a satchel of crowns down on his desk. It's all there, but I understand you want to count it. You do count it, and it's all there. And apparently it's Welsh coins, isn't it? Isn't that right, Bach? Oh, yes, indeed. Now, we could hire someone else of a maimed. Poor bugger. Alright, let's look at maybe getting some new gear. We will actually spring for some tools, not many. And sell these dodgy knackered old shields, because we have these bone figurines which help offset the cost. We can also sell that, because that's not even a dagger. You know, well, not a proper one anyway. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're starting to recoup our costs on our new member. Let's head off down the road and see what we can find. We have a vast amount of places to go. I imagine many of them will be on islands. We are near the top of the map. So let's go exploring. Looking at the time, I'll probably not want to be running too much longer. But hey, it's been a while. I haven't uploaded anything in the last day or two. To be honest, it's, yeah, the way... there's just been... If you've been keeping up with the news of what's going on in my country at the moment, you might understand why I wasn't feeling that motivated. Ah, the campfire is bringing with talk and chatter. The men are enjoying some beer and food when rather suddenly the shouts of two in particular get everyone else to quiet down. Not because they yell louder than the rest, but because it's rather out of character for both of them. The holy folks Agnes and Torleif are screaming deeply in a theological debate. You've not got the education to understand the I'm playing the seer. You do have the education to understand the intricacies and complexities of what they're arguing, but you don't understand what getting into another person's face and pointing furiously or at a holy book is probably asking for. You know, it's not on. It doesn't make sense. But you know what? You don't interfere with someone else's religion unless they're clearly an idiot like a Scientologist, in which case you probably should try and save them. Unless they're completely unreceptive. But anyway, yeah. So, you don't disrespect someone's spiritual beliefs unless they're, you know, in some kind of cult or... I mean, this goes back to like the Dark Ages, right? Like the Vikings and Anglo-Saxons were, and the Celts actually. Basically, a lot of the Northern European peoples were very, very big on religious tolerance, right? Whereas for more Mediterranean people, a bit less so. They'd have this feeling that, you know, my gods are my gods, and I worship my gods, and your gods are your gods, and you worship your gods, and that's okay. And in fact, if you take it a bit further, the Vikings and Anglo-Saxons also had the belief that when travelling far away from home, I am in your land now, my gods are at home, that's where my gods live, and my gods don't have a lot of power here, because it's a long way for them to reach, whereas back home my gods are strong. Here, your gods are the local gods, and I will respect them. Okay? It's actually one of the reasons why they sort of, why the Vikings in particular, sort of assimilated into other cultures and eventually disappeared because they were just very good at adapting. So yes, this is a theological debate. I will let these two sort it out. For a moment you think to stop the debate before it gets out of hand and into fists, but then you remember that this isn't the first time you've seen two holy folk exchanging in rather heated debate. It's just what they do. so you decide to let them hash it out. In time, eventually their voices lower in volume and their faces lower together into a book. They quietly peruse it, bumping heads as they draw their eyes over the pages. Finally Agnes raises up, pointing to some sentence. There! Right there! Man from mud, not man from blood. Man can't be from blood, he is blood. Man can't be from himself, see? Now, does it make sense? Scratching his chin, Torleaf nods, but then wonders aloud, what if... Before the thought is finished, Agnes slaps the book closed and both hands throwing up into the air, and yeah, she goes off, and they're both kind of happy though. It's got them in a good mood, and indeed, it's nice to see that religious folk write these things down so that when they disagree about them, they can at least go and look it up and have something definitive that has been handed down from generation to generation. I mean, this is a religious world, this world of Battle Brothers. You know, there are priests, there are monks, there are nuns. Even those who are not directly men or women of the cloth, you know, do mention the gods from time to time. Yeah, it's not a completely sacrilegious shithole, you know. And there's only a 2-skull contract here, that's not good. But we have now visited this town. Ooh. We could get a falchion, but I don't like a falchion. It's basically an orcish, almost scimitar, and it's like, not to my liking. Also, the falchion is more of a... Right, so it's a bit anachronistic here. You see, the majority of the stuff we have here is early medieval in Battle Brothers. So, you know, there's no plate armour. A lot of the more advanced two-handed weapons, like two-handed swords, aren't very prevalent because, again, there's not a lot of plate armour, so you don't really need them. So the falchion is more of a high to late medieval weapon. I'm not sure it's particularly prevalent in the early medieval period. Whereas a normal standard sword, it's a shame we don't have like Viking and Anglo-Saxon swords. They taper less and are chopping swords, cutting swords. There might even be done some kind of cleaver. That'd be an interesting thing to see if a mod would include them. Although no one really seems to have decided on a good name for that type of sword, because the oak-shot sword definitions come in, it's just about like a Type 10 oak-shot sword, but pre-Type 10, right? The Type 10 is kind of like very late Dark Ages, Norman Conquest, heading into the medieval period. And the swords I'm talking about are a bit earlier than that. It'd be really nice, and no one's actually come up with a name of them because, you know, at the time everyone just called it a sword because that's what it was. It wasn't like any special kind of sword. Man, I'd love to be able to afford that mace. That'd be gorgeous, but oh well. Right. Those are cheaper tools. We will have the cheaper tools. We will not argue about the cheaper tools. We've got them. And the bread. Right. That is a good start. And we'll sell that pitchfork. And this. Okay. We're not going to take that job. Now I've looked in here. I've looked here. I think we're going to have to move on after checking. Ooh, I don't know. Daggers, maces, and throwing weapons like oh no, not so good. Okay. So this is a dead end, the end of the road, as it were. Let's head on back this way, looking for mainly for work. Obviously for experience in all kinds and money for the company. Okay, so we've been to Torvberg. Yeah. Oh no, right, hold it. Went to Zugfest. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've been to all these places. I don't think that any of these explored and discovered towns have not been visited. However, there's a blatant road over here, so sure, to Torvalberg we go. Oh, awesome, we get to cut in here a little bit as well and eat up a little more of that grey fog, removing ignorance. For knowledge is power, especially when we have a seer, or rather the wise woman, and her small company travelling these lands. Oh, how dangerous it is for her and her few dedicated companions. For some reason, is Daytala not a farmer? There are some nice people here. It would be nice to be... Oh, a witch hunter. Yeah, so see, we'd like to have a witch hunter, but we've kind of got a witch. Make that 2 witches, you know, so, not a good idea. We also have some levels, before I forget. Yeah, hey, so Torleaf is... Oh, he's a monk, yeah, sure. So, okay, fortified mind and student. So, we want him. I kind of want to go with Taunt, actually. But he's not that great in a fight. Okay, so let's see. Sprint makes him go a bit fast. Efficient packing, okay. Steadfast, you know what? That may very well be worth grabbing for him. Rotation. And then bandages, yeah. Oh, bandage mastery. Oh, wow. Yeah. So rotation and yeah, so that's a good combination. And she can go rotation as well. Sure, let's actually do that for him. Now we do want a bit of that. Get him a bit more fatigue, and that's not shabby. Okay, we'll take that. Now are you being built for use of a particular weapon at the moment? Kinda hard to say. But that 34 resolve is very low. Alright, let's take a look at you, sister. So, I don't want to clone Copier's build and make them identical because that'll be really boring. But she can't have hold out, whereas he can, so he may pick that up soon. Oh, she can go heavy armor. Yeah, okay. She can't get shield, but she can get bandage mastery. This can get interesting. Oh wow, this can get really interesting. Okay. Sure, +4 is nice. It's really nice. And maybe she should be the standard bearer. Okay. So he's big. And we can get him muscularity. We can't get him the heavy armor skills. Sword, dagger, axe. Okay. Probably sticking with spear. You're probably not sticking with a spear. Mace. Mace or flail. Sword. So if we go for the axe for you. There we go. The Axeman's going to want some stat fatigue, but these defense rolls are too good to turn up. We don't have a one-handed axe for him to use, so he won't get to use one. Except, come on you. For some reason that click didn't register at first. Okay. Those are some exorbitant prices for axes. Let's make a few sales. And that food isn't looking too great, so we'll get some nice mushrooms. And we'll head out along the road in search of adventure. Let's try and find somewhere nice to go. Let's at least try and find where this road goes a bit. I'm going to get past this junction before ending the episode. I mean, I've been going, what, nearly 3/4 of an hour now? And it is pushing 4 in the morning. I don't know that I'm going to fully explore this road to its end. I wouldn't be able to explode a road. That would be very dangerous. Earthfall. There's a 2-skull contract and they are beset by on-holes. No thanks, we're moving on. Just leaving. Our company is not ready for on-holds just yet, especially if there's more than one of them. Okay. Well, we're going to follow the soldiers because the soldiers are going to a location. And at that location there will either be a settlement or enemies to engage. In other words, there will either be work or an opportunity to improve our company. That's a lot of barbarians. Looking at that company, they're well equipped and experienced. They don't need us. Bolasted, a large city. Wow, okay. And there's a 1-skull contract. But I'm not going to take that now. I'll be taking that in the next episode. Clearly there's a description which needs to be entered into the mod there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, caravan guard. Yeah. But seriously, I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. I'll say bye-bye for now, and cheerio!